Welcome to everybody to our 10 tips for effective Facebook event promos webinar. This is one of the webinars in our education series. It's part of our Sunshine Plan for recovery from COVID-19 and the 2020 hurricane season. Basically, everything this year has had to throw at Louisiana. This is going to be a really great one as we start to get some events back online after COVID. So I'm glad y'all are all here to kind of get the scoop and get some best practices on these processes, how to work with LOT on event promotion. Just some quick housekeeping. You have all entered on mute. Please try to stay that way just so we can get through the whole thing without any major disruptions. We can post any questions in chat. I'm going to be monitoring that and can toss them out at Teresa, who is presenting today. Once we get to the end and hopefully answer any questions that you guys have. Don't be shy, ask away, whatever y'all want to know. We are recording this, so we're going to have this posted up after the presentation is over so that you can access it or share it with anybody that you feel like needs to see it. If you have any people running events in your region or anything like that, definitely share it. And in fact, other PSA, share the entire webinar series with anybody that you have attractions, whomever. These are all free and available for everybody for the rest of the year. We have one every Tuesday and Thursday for a whole variety of topics. These are not just for CBBs, so if you want to come to any of them, definitely come and see or share them with anybody that you think could benefit. They're completely free, open to the public. We're encouraging everybody to take advantage of them as much as possible. If they can't make it to one, we're recording all of them so they can access the entire library of them whenever is convenient for them. With that, I'm going to pass it to Teresa Overby, who is going to get down to business about promoting your events on Facebook.
Great. Thank you, Jennifer. I'm also attending the webinar, and who won't be muted when it comes to question time is Maggie Heller from my team. Maggie, most of you will know her as the social media voice for Louisiana Travel. We'll be referring back to Louisiana Travel a number of times. So if you have any questions about day-to-day Facebook, when it comes to louisianatravel.com and working with us, certainly feel free to ask those questions as well. As Jennifer noted, we are here today to talk specifically about event promotion. If you were on the Sunshine Plan call a few days ago, Jennifer outlined a 3-step process that automatically triggers organic event promotion for your event. Those 3 steps are pretty simple. Most of you probably have access to the louisianatravel.com database. If you don't, it's simple to add an event by going to the footer of louisianatravel.com and simply clicking on Add Event. So step 1 is you add your event to louisianatravel.com. You're able to add as many details about the event as you possibly can. You can add images, you can hyperlink out to your website. If it's a ticketed event and you'd like to hyperlink to the ticket purchase site, that's fine too. So that's step 1. Step 2, you create a Facebook event for your festival or event. And then step 3, you invite Louisiana Travel to be a co-host. And that invitation to Louisiana Travel triggers some wonderful benefits for you as a destination or as an event. So we're going to talk mainly about bullet point 2 and 3 today. And I'm also going to share some tips with you for really optimizing your Facebook event and getting the most out of engagement. Jumping in, this is our, we have created a Louisiana Fun Fest Facebook page. We use this to demonstrate some different engagement strategies. You'll see that Louisiana Fun Fest is located in Louisianaville, Louisiana. We have, it's a 3-week event that runs from July 12th through August 2nd. We're speaking specifically about events today, but you'll notice that that the avatar here is easily recognizable. When people see it, they'll know that this is an official brand. You'll also note that the vanity URL at Louisiana Fun Fest has been claimed. So if you haven't done that on your page, I encourage you to do that. So we're going to dive right in and click on the Events tab and go to the page where you'll see there are currently no upcoming events. So we want to add one to be our demo for today. So we're going to click on Create a New Event, and that's going to take us to a page that allows us to create an online event or an in-person event. Now, online events are since COVID, since the pandemic started, they've been given prevalence. So even if you're not ready to host live events in your area, Facebook has made it simple to create online events. If you have a musician or an artist, or if you want to run a Facebook Live, you can do that by creating the event first and then promoting the event up until it happens. So we're going to create an in-person event, assuming that assuming that you have COVID safe practices in place, that there are social distancing guidelines to be followed, and we'll start by creating the event. On the left rail, when you click in, you're going to see the event name, and by default you'll have the start date and the start time. Now, the default view doesn't allow you to add an end time, but I want to encourage you to do that so you're setting expectations for the people who are coming to your event. So if it's an all-day event or a 3-day event, you want to make sure you have that start and finish time. You want your event to be set as public, and you want to make sure you're adding as much description as possible. So again, you're setting those expectations, and then you'll select a category. So our sample event is the Fun Fest 5K. This is an event within an event. So you'll notice that the main event has a Facebook page, and then we'll create individual events for all of those ticketed things to do within the event. Next, you want to make sure that when you set your location for the event, that you're always selecting a Facebook recognized venue. This will allow you to have the map on the right side of the page. If you were to scroll to the bottom of the list here, and where it says just use Lake Darbin State Park as text, it's not going to give the event map, so people won't be able to find you. So use that official location where people have checked in. Next, you want to select a cover photo that is it's eye-catching, it's fun, or it really relays the essence of your event. A lot of times we'll see Facebook event photos that have text over the image, and they crop poorly. So you'll see in the top right hand of the page, you have the option to view it on desktop and on mobile. You want to make sure you preview that image and make sure it's cropping correctly. The current Facebook image size for events for the hero image is 1920 by 1005. So that's a very important part of setting up your event, because you want it to look professional and you want it to be people to be able to recognize it easily just from the image in mobile view when they're scrolling past. Next, we're going to look at admission and event settings. These are both very important fields. You want your event to be transactional. If there are tickets available, you can add a link out to under admission, and people can go directly and buy those events. You'll see on the right-hand side of the page, once you've created a link, the Find Tickets button is now available. So you don't have to send people to a third-party site. They don't have to remember a URL or go look for tickets. You can send them directly. On the event settings, this is where the important part of the Louisiana travel event promotion happens. This is where you select your co-hosts. So you'll see that we start typing in Louisiana and a number of Louisiana pages start auto-populating. Down the list, we see Louisiana Travel. And I've put in here as a note, the Louisiana Travel page has 436,000 likes, and we want your event to be able to leverage that audience. So by selecting Louisiana Travel as a co-host, you now, what happens automatically once we accept it is that a notification is sent out to everyone who likes the Louisiana Travel page. And all of a sudden you have organic distribution for your event. So where you may have 1,000 people who like your page and who would get a notification, this now amplifies organically and it hasn't costed you a dime. So also important among those event settings is I always recommend to toggle show guest list as on. You want that, that social proof that people are interested in going to the event. It'll also trigger a notification to friends of friends who have signed up for your event. So if I click that I'm interested in or going to an event, Jennifer might get a notification on her phone that says, your friend Teresa Overby is going to an event near you. So again, that's another way to organically boost awareness of your event. Only admins can post an event. We toggle that off typically because we want the community to be able to post about how excited they are about the event. We want them to ask questions within the newsfeed, but this all happens within the event. So if you have that toggled off, that will allow people other than your admins to post in the event. If you like, you could toggle on the posts must be approved by a host or co-host of the event. Some people prefer to do that just to have the added security of not having random things posted. Finally, let people ask you questions about this event over Messenger. This is great because it gives you that one-on-one engagement. It allows you to almost be the 800 number. So social media is about being social and it's about engaging. So we recommend you allowing people to ask you questions about the event. Once you've requested Louisiana Travel to be a co-host, this is the view we see on the Louisiana Travel page. We see that there's a recommended action and it's a co-host request from the event for the page. So we click review the request, we look at the event, we ensure that it meets the qualifications of events on the Louisiana Travel calendar. We check louisianatravel.com, make sure the event has been entered there. And if the event has been filled out completely and it is a visitor-friendly event, meaning it's not just a small event that is very localized. We realize that some local events are visitor-friendly, so we'll assess to make sure it's something that people would come to your destination to do, and we'll approve that request and it'll show up on the Louisiana Travel event calendar. You'll notice across the top of the page that the reach is hundreds of thousands of people, that there are thousands of event responses to the events on our calendar. So that just shows proof that people are, that this amplification of your event is working. So we're able to see those analytics, and you'll also be able to see that in your Facebook events tab. This is the view of just a screenshot of the Louisiana Travel event calendar. You'll see that we accepted the co-host request, and now we automatically have an option to boost the event. And if your event meets the qualifications, if it is indeed a visitor event, In most cases, we will boost that event with paid promotion. The size of the event, the footprint of the event will dictate the spend on the promotion. But again, if it meets all qualifications, we'll also boost that event. So now is the important part. Once you've created your events, you have Louisiana Travel as a co-host, it's time to engage in your event. So our Louisiana Fun Fest page is not published. It's not open for visitors, so we can't actually publish posts on it yet. But there is a musician out of Texas who does a fantastic job of creating Facebook events and engaging in those events to create awareness and to have some virality to his posts. So I'm going to show you a few examples of his posts here, starting with Cody he does live events, but because of COVID, obviously he hasn't been out and doing events. So he did a private live stream and he started promoting that in August. You'll see here where he's posting always in the event. He doesn't post on the page because he wants the engagement to happen within his event. So you'll see his page posted in the event. And this is his first, the first tactic he uses for engagement. Say below who you're watching the stream with and you could win tickets. Hit interested on the event for a notification when there's a winner. So two things are happening here. He's having his fans tag another person. So he's creating awareness that his friends are going to the event to see what they were tagged in. And then he's having people hit interested in the event so they start getting notifications about it. And next, you'll see that this is a post within the event from True Grit Presents. This is his promotion company. As a co-host, they can also post in the event. So now their page followers are getting notifications from within the event. Heads up, this event will stream at Dice FM. Tickets go on sale this Friday, so he's adding valuable information. But then again, who wants free tickets? Tell us below who you're watching with and you might win. So again, people are liking the event, and then 229 comments on this one. So people are tagging other people again. It's becoming viral, right? He's allowing people to post on the page. So to create excitement and social proof. So he's giving his fans and attendees a voice. And then he comes back again, and his team utilizes text messaging notifications, which is pretty interesting. And I can see use cases for that in larger events or events where you're wanting to build some opt-in for text notifications. So that's something you might consider. And then he gives a last chance before the show. It's your last chance to win tickets. So now he's asked people to tag a friend. He's asked them to click interested. And now he's asking people to share the post and score free access. For events or other type of, let's see, you could think about the different incentives you could use for people to come to your event. You could give away a product, you could give away free tickets, but again, people are liking, they're commenting, and they're tagging people below, and they're sharing. So again, this is an engagement strategy to get more eyeballs organically on your event. So now here's more proof. He's got people waiting, watching the show. So their friends are seeing this in their newsfeed. They're getting interested. And finally, you'll see that almost 13,500 people responded to this event. So this just demonstrates those calls to action We see a lot on Facebook pages, like, comment, share. So Facebook, if you're posting that all of the time on your page, Facebook is going to penalize you for that. But they still allow it within text. You just don't want to lead with that. So you'll notice on all of the posts that were created for this event, within the event, they give some helpful information, and then they give an opportunity to win, and they have that call to action. They tell people exactly what to do, and it really does drive engagement. They get people to click that interested or going button, and then again, the power of that is that people who are interested or are going, their friends are now getting notifications. So this is why it's so important to you create that event, but then from time to time, at least once a week, I would say, you want to post in that event and give people something to do and keep it top of mind, not just with people who are going, but with their friends. So we're going to go over quickly these 10 tips, and then we'll open it up for questions. So you want to make sure you choose a catchy or memorable name, include a full description. You have a lot of characters to use, so say as much as you want about the event. You have the option to utilize interest tags to make your event discoverable based on interests. So again, take full advantage of that. You always want to have not just the default start time, but add that finish time as well. When you're selecting your location, make sure it's a Facebook recognized location. For your image, for your hero image for the event, make sure you choose a fun, engaging event photo and test it if there are graphic overlays, certainly, to make sure nothing is cut off. Add a link to your event so people can purchase tickets directly. Update those event settings to make it possible for people to engage with the events. Certainly add Louisiana Travel and other pertinent partners as co-hosts. So you may have, if you're an event, you might want to add your local CVB. You may have sponsors that would be appropriate as co-hosts, but certainly add Louisiana Travel so it will show up on the Louisiana Travel event calendar. Allow your attendees to post in the event. And finally, engage frequently within the event. So now we're ready for questions. Jen, does anyone have any yet?
I have not seen any come through as yet. If y'all have any questions, since we're to the end, if you want to even pop off your mute and just impose it real quick, you can do that as well. There are so many of us that will be too complicated, I would think. Or if nobody has any questions, we can wrap up and let everybody get to a lunch. And y'all should hopefully know how to reach all of us. Our contact information is on the industry portal. We will be, oh, here we go. I have a question. If free events are allowed. And yes, we certainly don't need to have them be something that y'all are funding. They are getting money for us to promote it. We'll definitely promote free events as well. Anybody else? Any questions?
I'll note too, Jennifer, when we're if it's an event, be it a free or ticketed event, we will, and if we're promoting that with ads, we will always build out those ads based on interest categories. So if it's a run, we'll be looking for people who are interested in fitness,
Sure.
Geographic area, who are interested in seafood. So just so you know.
Great. All right. Well, I will say that unless we have any additional questions, we can wrap up. Everybody, I'm going to go ahead and encourage everybody though to go check out the webinar schedule list online. It's at louisianatravel.com/industry. We have an education section on there to please go look at and see what other webinars you might be interested in and get registered. Again, they're all totally free and open to whomever feels like they could benefit from those. And for additional education, I'm also going to go ahead and encourage you all to check out the Google Recovery Toolkit. It's in that same section of free offerings that we have on the industry portal. You can get into that and access a lot more education and tips on everything from more social media to SEM, content development, whatever you guys are looking for. So we feel like education and helping out our partners with a lot of this critical information is a huge part of getting through recovery from COVID and the hurricane season. I have one more question that just came through that I'm going to throw out there. Are virtual events allowed?
Yes.
Right now, yes, they absolutely are. They're not something we've particularly promoted in the past, but we understand that right now that's really kind of the sandbox we're all having to play into a certain extent. So we are definitely promoting virtual events, especially if they have some sort of hold that would be relevant to a potential visitor that would have come here if they were able to. So we're definitely promoting virtual events right now. That is something we've actually changed up a little bit since COVID. What about cook-offs? Yay, questions, I'm excited. We can absolutely promote cook-offs. The key to being able to share and promote the events is that they are open to the public and something that would attract a visitor. So since culinary is a big thing in Louisiana, absolutely cook-offs are something we can promote. The Big Jambalaya cook-off, for example, in Ascension is something that we have shared in the past and can promote. So that's a great example, and yes, definitely. I'm gonna give it a second for any more. But definitely keep them coming. If y'all have any questions afterwards, feel free to reach out to myself or Teresa, and we can answer those offline as well. All right, I don't see any more coming through. That puts us at exactly about half an hour. So that's perfect, exactly what we were aiming for. And we will let everybody kind of go get back to their workday, and feel free to hit us up with any questions. And we'll put this recording up on the industry portal.
Thanks, Jennifer. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.